Oh, 900. You gotta be.
That's a.
All right, so we wanted to stop you real quick before you click off this video. Yes, we know it's not about cars, but we do race dirt bikes. We do camp a lot. There's something about riding a dirt bike when you're on the bike, you can't think of anything else. It's kind of like surfing, like a great stress reliever. So we hope you stick around. You get to know us on a little bit more personal level and check out what we do in our spare time. We also managed to throw in a review of the popular campsite we go to, so hopefully you'll hang out and check it out with us.
everyone. We wanted to kind of give you a little review on our favorite place to go dirt bike riding, which is Durhamtown Plantation. I think the name has changed though to Durhamtown Off Road
Resort. Yes, they'd have changed the name, but they've also done a lot of updates lately.
Yes, lots of updates. We've been going there for, I don't know, 5-6 years, I think.
I took the boys there when Rusty was on a training wheel 50, so you're talking since 2013. So we've probably been going at least 9 or 10 years.
Yeah.
We saw the place transform a little bit here lately, which is what we kind of want to talk about. It's an expensive hobby. It's an expensive sport. Most of the time you have to travel long distances, and you should kind of have an idea of what you're getting into before you get there. So that's kind of why we're here.
Yeah. And then you pay every day to ride. So it used to be really pretty cheap for us, but our last trip that we just took, that we're doing a review on, for the first day it was $105 for all 4 of us to ride.
Now that's because Rusty is 12 now.
11.
Yeah. I was going in the future. So now I don't know what it is, but regardless of what year he was born, if anybody keeps track of that stuff, he is now full price. So how much was it?
It was $105.
The first day.
The first day. And then they take $5 off per person the second day.
Right. So keep that in mind. If you're going for a 5-day trip, that's $100 a day to ride. As well as once you get into the pro shop, which you'll see in the video, the pro shop is, I've never seen it that nice. It rivals any dealership I've been in. They have everything you need. Everything: parts, brakes, levers, tubes, tires, boots, gear, jackets, sweatpants, anything you want, they got it.
Plus, if you don't have a camper, they also have campers you can rent and cabins you can rent. I've never been in one. I can't really give you a review on what they look like inside. I can only kind of tell you what they look like outside, and the cabins look like cabins.
If you go to the website, they're based on how many people you have. So if you have 9 people, you can only go into certain cabins and campers. It breaks it down pretty good for you.
Yeah.
They also have ice, plenty of ice on hand. They have plenty of firewood on hand if you don't have enough or it gets cold.
And they got a kitchen there, so if you don't feel like cooking that night, or you're at the camper and didn't bring food, they do have an actual place for you to get breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Your dog is in my way.
They also have a bar, but I have not seen the bar open since COVID happened in 2020.
They do sell beer. They have a cooler full of beer. They also have assorted bottles of liquor. They had like Crown Apple and Captain Morgan, but they were talking like $50 a bottle. So bring your liquor with you, unless it's a dire emergency.
Yeah. So we always have fun when we're camping there. We usually go with some friends of ours, which you'll see in the video as well.
They also have some concrete spots, but there's very few. They also have a lot of spots that don't have sewer. So I think they have over 150 spots now. But when you go to the website and type in your dates and your number of people, it'll pretty much break it down for you to choose.
Yeah. Riding wise, you can take anything you want there pretty much. They just had a Raptor competition there, so we saw a lot of Raptors. 4-wheelers, side-by-sides, dirt bikes, pretty much anything. They even have ones you can rent. No Raptors, of course, but the side-by-sides.
Yeah, they have everything from a Yamaha 50 clear through a 450 Woods bike. They got razors, they got 4-wheelers, anything you want and you're willing to pay for, they can rent it to you.
Yeah.
Just keep in mind, if you rent and you get it all muddy, you've got to clean it. You got to pay for the tokens. It's $2 a token. It's probably going to take you $12 or so to get one of those things clean enough to turn back in. So that, keep that in mind.
I think it's 6 minutes per token.
Right, and I did, just our dirt bikes were 2 tokens each. So you get a big old 4-seat RZR, you're probably gonna spend $25 at the pressure washer cleaning it up.
Yes.
That brings up another point, the mud. So check the weather. It's Georgia clay, so if it rained 3 or 4 days before you get there, it's like ice, and they close a lot of the trails down. So you'll get in there and you'll pay, and you won't have anywhere to go ride. It happened to us last New Year's. We paid $105 to ride, and the only thing open was, I think, the beginner trail. Like there was nothing open. So make sure before you pay your money, you ask what's open if the weather has been bad.
Yes. They have a little thing in when you go in to pay that tells you which sites or which trails are closed, but it's not always updated. So the one day we went in and we paid to come to find out that almost everything was shut down. So that is one thing to really keep an eye on.
Yeah, there's absolutely no refunds. Make sure you do your homework. Call before you ride. Check the weather in the area. The place gets pretty dangerous if it's wet.
Unless you're in a 4-wheeler side-by-side, and then it's tons of fun. And then we'll talk about the trails. So there are hundreds of trails.
I think there's 150 miles of trails.
Yes, there is a lot, and it's all the way from beginner to super advanced. You know, don't go in unless you've been riding for a very long time. And the trails are well marked. And
most of them. There's a few places where the trail gets two-way between major trails. You just got to be mindful, pay attention to the signs. Not everybody does. The trail system's pretty good. Don't really have a whole lot of complaints about the trail system. There's challenging trails. There's not a whole lot of terrain there. But what did you like the woods tracks?
The woods course. I like those a lot.
Number 2 was closed, right? Which one was closed when we were there? We did 2 and 3?
We did.
Yeah, we did 2 and 3.
Okay, yeah.
So it was a little wet when we got there, but
yeah, and they were different. So the one course was wide open and the side-by-side could fit on it. So our friend Lindsay took the side-by-side right behind us. And then the next one we went on was only for dirt bikes. It was more tight and
they have a
lot of turns.
The poles at the entrance, so you can only fit it. The poles are set in there like this, so you can't get up side-by-side. You can only fit a dirt bike in there.
Yeah, which is nice. So they do have trails that fit side-by-side, some that fit 4-wheelers, and then other ones that are just for dirt bikes. But yeah, they put poles in so nobody else can go through but a dirt bike.
Yeah, we've been going there so long, we know exactly what we like. We spend a lot of time on MX4, which is what you'll see in the video with our boys jumping, and even Dad, you know, at almost 50 still, you know, getting out there and doing it. We did the woods track. We love straight rhythm, even though we can't clear everything on straight rhythm.
And that they do have tracks there, so they have a little wee one on the other
Armadillo.
The Armadillo, which is small for real little kids, and then they have a medium-sized track for peewee riders. It goes all the way up, I think, to 85. This is the biggest bike that can get on that track.
On the peewee track, yes. That's the track they race the family series on. If you watch our other videos, that's the track that Rusty races on.
Yeah.
They have a pro track. You have to have a pro license to ride.
It's scary.
They have a bomber track, which is what they race the adults on when they do the adult races. Then they got rid of MX3. That's now a UTV course, but they have 4, 5, and 6, 2 and 3. 2's got the huge step up. So there's a track out there for your style. You just have to find them. They're spread out pretty good.
They got like a mud pit for the 4-wheelers and side-by-sides. They have drag racing.
That's fun. Everybody loves dirt drag racing.
Everybody loves that. They have a turbo track, so you can only get on it if you go 35 plus miles an hour. You can't go slower than that.
It's made for the big side-by-side, the RZR 1000s and the Yamaha 1000s. It's a big track. I think it has like 14 turns, and it's you don't want to be out there unless you're in one of those.
Yeah, the Raptors, I think, just raced on that this weekend. So they have that, and then they have Monster Mountain.
I think we have some video of Monster Mountain.
Yeah, we've got Monster Mountain. The kids really like that one too.
So if you go to the website and look at the layout of the place, and put the lodge in the center at the bottom, to the northeast is where like the Jeep trails are. It gets rocky and there's terrain. They've got an amazing single trail over there that me and my son love. That's like 40 minutes long. It wears you right out. Other than that, everything's 8 to 10 minutes long. And as you get more towards the west, it gets flatter. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it gets that's where they have like the beginner track and A and B trails, and
yeah,
it's laid out pretty good for that.
Ton to do, lots to ride on, variety for everybody and everything. Just the cost is kind of what you got to watch.
Just like everything else, it's gotten super expensive to do anything. But the whole family's together. You got no internet, so that's another thing. Their internet is horrible unless you're right up by the lodge. They have all these repeaters everywhere, but it don't work. But again, it's actually kind of good. It keeps everybody outside. We build fires, the boys play. We've met some of our best friends at Durhamtown.
Yes.
Ironically enough, they live 20 minutes away from us, but we met them 4 hours away at Durhamtown. So it's actually kind of a good thing that the kids don't have that.
Yeah. So if you're a Facebook or whatever the other channels are, and you have to be on it constantly.
Did you say whatever the like Instagram?
Yeah.
YouTube. So yeah. I think you come down out of the mountain and your phone goes crazy because it's been out of service the whole time you've been there.
Yeah, which is really nice actually. It's kind of a relief.
But it's a good time and highly recommend at least checking it out. We checked it out and we've been going for 12 years and
I think our years just grew.
Don't worry about what I'm doing. Wait a minute. We've got to figure this out. So
he's not even 12.
So when we moved here, it was what?
2011.
And Eric came down the very next summer.
Yes.
So 2012.
But not 12 years.
And it's 2021, about to be 2022. So we've been going there for 9 years. Our friends have been going there for more than that.
And how old are your kids?
I don't know. Everybody's so critical. I don't know why you're so critical.
Well, I hope you guys like the review. Check out Durhamtown. We've really enjoyed our time there. Thanks.
We'll give you a 11-year-old's point of view for your kids here shortly. All right, so here is Rusty. He's 11, as we've established. We'd like to give you his point of view because, you're taking your kids there. You're going to spend a lot of money. You might as well know if they like it. So Rusty has been riding a dirt bike
since I was 2. So, no, since I was...
Basically, right before he was 2. And we've been on power sports our whole life. So what is your favorite things to do at Durhamtown?
Well,
obviously the drive there.
I don't know about that. It's kind of long. The favorite thing to do from the trails is probably the main loop with MX4. Because with the MX4 track, there's a little place to hang out and chill. And then you can go into that, which we have footage of. And where the chill out, there's actually a loop, which is really fun. I actually don't have any footage of that. I wish I did, because I fly through there. I'd probably get out there in under a minute.
All right, so main loop, MX4, and then of course you race on the Pee Wee track.
Yes, that track is fun. The Armageddon is fun.
So we do have a lot of footage of you on straight rhythm, because I think you spend most of your day there.
I spend most of my day there because it's a fun track and I know it. It's got the perfect bowl turn and it has the perfect jumps.
What about after the riding is over?
BMX track. Because that is where, after races, that's where I meet all the riders and friends I know from the riding.
All right, so but what else? Like, let's say it's time to wind down for the night, so then what do you do?
Make
S'mores.
Yeah, make a fire, play around with the fire, make another fire.
They have those aerial LED rubber band things that you shoot into the air and they helicopter down. The rocket copters, highly recommend those. Those are always a hit.
We play with the dog.
Play with the dog.
She really likes camping too.
Yeah, the dog. There's that. All right, well, there you go. You've got a 11-year-old's point of view on Durhamtown, so it's well worth checking out at least once. Maybe you'll love it, maybe you don't. We love it, so hope you have a little bit better idea of what it's all about. Thank you.